Hi, my name is Chris Sadler. I'm the Director of Human Resources for the Sun Prairie Area School District. Today, I'm going to be talking about an update and proposal regarding professional educator compensation for the Sun Prairie Area School District School Board for the April 10th, 2023 school board meeting. My first slide shows the group that worked on the professional educator compensation proposal that I'll be describing over the next few minutes. I want to say thank you to this group that spans our professional educators, district level directors, and school board members for putting the extra time and thoughtfulness as we worked through the compensation framework to make sure that we are highly competitive in our recruiting and also retaining of quality staff within the Sun Prairie Area School District. So why did the group begin the discussion? Well, we want to ensure that we are able to retain our current professional educators and recruit and hire high quality professional educators in the future. We want to remain competitive with our neighboring school districts. When we think back to 2019, the Sun Prairie community graciously voted yes to a referendum that allowed us to use funds of $5 million focused on bringing professional educator salaries to the Dane County average. Those adjustments were completed in the 2021-22 school year after a 3-year adjustment plan. We felt like it was very, very important to work on our current professional educator compensation structure in order to take that momentum from that 3-year adjustment and make sure that we didn't lose ground after that was completed in that year. So why now? Again, we've incorporated this into our typical employee work group discussions and actions to be consistent with past processes. We are able to be proactive in the budgeting process in this. We want to make sure that once those referendum funds were used, that we have a new structure that can continue now and in the future to support our ability to compete against neighboring districts and making sure, again, that we're retaining our high quality professional educators that we currently have, and then obviously recruiting and hiring professional educators in the future. We want to make sure that we're always connecting back to our strategic framework, and we do strive to proactively recruit, retain, and engage diverse and exceptional talent. And compensation is one piece of that. We also have operational expectation that compensation and benefits attract and retain high quality employees, just like we've stated already, but this is a board expectation of our superintendent and our district as a whole. And we want to make sure that our compensation frameworks allow us to meet those expectations. So this slide is probably the all-encompassing description of the proposal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over our current structure and then compare that with the proposed structure. So our current structure, there's a board approved annual increase. And right now that's costed by looking at our bachelor salary base level, and then we multiply that to the school board percentage. And then that amount is distributed evenly to all professional educators, and that's base building. We also have currently our professional advancement hour base salary adjustment, which when a professional educator completes 24 hours of approved professional advancement hours, they are provided with a $550 base building salary adjustment. If it's less than 24 hours, then there's a stipend payment. So I'm going to go over to the third column of our current structure. So anything up to an additional 24 hours above the 24 hours base building, or if somebody does not complete the full 24 hours, then there's a payout of $18.50 an hour. That's advancement hours, and that is not base building. That's a stipend that's provided. So that's our current structure. Our proposed structure is we're looking at our average professional educator salary multiplied by the school board approved percentage. And we provided a survey, and you can kind of read about that in the situation report, to provide kind of an idea of what do our professional educators prefer? Do they prefer the amount distributed evenly to all professional educators, or do they prefer an individual salary percentage increase based on whatever the board has approved? And that survey provided us with an 82% of our current professional educators preferred the percentage be calculated using their individual salary. Now, no matter if we take that percentage against our average professional educator salary, which obviously is higher than the current rate where we cost it using the bachelor's level salary, When we do that, no matter if we distribute it evenly or if we distribute it individually on salaries, it's still mathematically the same total amount of funds being provided for professional educator adjustments, and that is base building. We also looked at our professional advancement hour base salary adjustment. It's still focused on completing 24 hours of advanced or of professional advancement hours, but it's a little different now. It has some variability to it. We have 1.25% of the current salary of the individual professional educator. That would be what they earn if they are to complete 24 hours of professional advancement hours. Or if somebody's salary, when they multiply it to 1.25%, if it's lower than the curriculum rate, which currently is $24 an hour, when multiplied by those 24 hours, that equals currently $576. If that variable rate of 1.25% based on their individual salary is actually lower than 576, they will earn $576 for completing 24 hours of professional advancement hours, and that is base building. And the reason we do that is because we don't want to go lower than what our current rate of the 550 is. And we felt like we needed to have some type of floor to the amount people earn with 24 hours. So it is increased a bit because we're using a different multiplier of $24 an hour using something that we have in our system around curriculum rates to do that. And again, you can read a little bit more about that in the situation report. And then we have also changed out the stipend professional advancement hour payout a little bit just by using the curriculum rate again. We wanted to make sure that we have something in our system that allows us to have a direct connection. So that curriculum rate is part of our system and how we pay people to do maybe work outside of their contract time. And we felt like we should use something that we have in our system to do that. So we are increasing that to $24 an hour for our current curriculum rate. And again, that's not base building. So just this is a quick slide around what this actually means. So currently our funds are equally distributed, as I've said, and we'll look at the chart here in a second. But we're transitioning to looking at using the average professional educator salary, which again increases the amount of funds provided based on the board approved adjustment. And currently, support staff administrators and administrative support staff are compensated based on their individual pay and salary. So whatever the percentage is that's board approved, that's multiplied to their current pay, and that's their adjustment over that time. Now, the proposal would distribute funds based on individual salaries for professional educators. So again, that would be similar to our other employee groups at this point. And again, that overall cost is still the same if evenly distributed. But again, going back to the survey that would provide professional educators, 82% would like an individual salary adjustment, and we're using that within our proposal. So just for a quick reference, the chart to the right, basically I kind of used a 3% board approved adjustment. That doesn't mean that's what it is this year. That's just an average over the last 10 years that's been about where the percentage lies. So in the pink column, you're going to see the bachelor's degree base level equal distribution that we currently have. And if somebody was making $52,500, the adjustment amount would be $1,305, because when you multiply 3% to $43,493, which is our current bachelor's base level salary, that's the amount is $1,305. So their updated salary just based on that, not doing professional advancement hours, would be $53,805. The blue column is our proposal. So now you would take 3% multiplied to 52,500. So that's a teacher's individual salary, which would then be $1,575 for an updated salary of $54,075. So that's just kind of what you can see the difference between the two. So really quickly, this is probably a little more complex than the overall compensation adjustment based on board approved percentage, but I wanted to show kind of how this affects different professional educators. So the chart really shows on the far column or the left column, those are just salaries that are ranges. So basically we have a teacher that's making $45,377 all the way up to $80,918. And that's just kind of a um, different salary, so you can see how it's affected differently. So as you can see, the person making $45,377, when you multiply that to 1.25%, that's actually lower than what we would consider the base level advancement hour adjustment. So they would get $576. If once a person's making, say, the 47,493, you can see that the 1.25 multiplied to their current salary is actually more than 576. So that's what they would earn for their professional advancement hours. And you can see how that changes based on a person's salary. And again, just a reminder, the base level does come from our current curriculum rate, and that will go from $18.50 to $24 an hour. So obviously there is a financial impact to our proposal. This is also in the board report as well, but I wanted to make sure this was on the slide as I discussed it. I think what I'm going to do is, you can see that the overall compensation cost is around 44.4 million. A lot of that obviously depends on the percentage approved by the board. You can see that about 72% last year are in the 24-hour PD increase or adjustment. And with the proposal, the increase would be about $85,000 a year. And then also the annual cost for professional educators who get more than 24 hours of PD is dependent, obviously, on from year to year how many people do that, but it'll approximately be about $40,000 more based on the increase in the hourly amount. We are eliminating the hard to fill adjustment, which was part of our current system. And the reason for that is almost all certifications will be recognized as shortage areas in the future. And so that kind of made it a moot point. We felt like we should use that hard to fill adjustment to offset the increases in our current proposal. And that's around $100,000. Now, I think the fifth point is an important one, because I think this will help the board understand like how those board approved adjustments play out. And you can see, so the first point or sub point under the fifth point is distribution amount. So basically, for every 1% board approved annual adjustment, the cost of the proposed plan would be about $440,000. The proposed change, what that means for every percent is that the current proposed plan would be about $113,000 more per 1% than the current plan of the board approved adjustment. So that kind of helps you just kind of understand how that would affect, future decisions on what the board decides as the adjustment from one year to the next. And obviously this framework will have to be reevaluated each year to ensure financial sustainability as we look forward. So that, again, is now that we know this costing method, if this proposal is approved, the board can kind of think about that in the big picture and understand that as the annual adjustment is decided upon. I want to thank you for your consideration. And again, I want to go back to the slide that talks about the many people that were involved in this discussion and the decisions as we went into proposal. There's a lot of great discussions that happen, and I just really appreciate the reflective nature of the group and understanding the big picture, because there are so many variables when we're thinking about compensation plans that also affect how we look at compensation, and to make sure it's sustainable and feasible within our current budget constraints. And the group went through those discussions so well, so reflective, always looking to the future and being solution-based. And I just want to thank them for their time that was outside of their typical time that they're dedicating to students and their work. So thank you, and thank you for your consideration.